Hello YouTubers out there, this is the Boob Wasteland Show with your host, Jerry Saravia. So, for the fall of 2013, we're going to kick things off with the review of a new television series called Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And this is a comedy series on Fox, starring Andy Samberg, and also, of course, Andre Braugher, who many of you would know from back in the day from Homicide, amongst other things as well. And this is a very funny show, by the way. Of course, this was just the debut, uh, which was broadcast on September 17th. It's a Fox television comedy on Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. And Andy Samberg is the best detective in this particular group at Brooklyn 999, or 99 rather, New York City, NYPD. And there are some other characters in addition to his. He is, of course, a police detective, Jake Peralta, who's pretty childish and is always playing some jokes and gags with other people and a lot of sarcasm. It's actually the perfect role for him to utilize his comedic talents. There's also Stephanie Beatrice, who plays Detective Rosa Diaz, who's a very tough detective. Terry Crews, who most of you would probably know from The Expendables, but and also the President of the United States from the film Idiocracy, not to mention, of course, in television land, Everybody Hates Chris, which was canceled, unfortunately, a little while ago. In this one, he's Sergeant Terry Jeffords, the detective squad's leader. Then there's Melissa Fumero, who plays Detective Amy Santiago. This is Jake's, Andy Samberg's character's uptight partner, to be sure. Then there's Joe Lo Truglio, who plays Detective Charles Boyle. He's a hardworking detective who's trying to pick up in the premiere episode Detective Rosa Diaz, and wants to take her to a Rihanna concert, and then realizes maybe it'd be better to go see some old movies. And apparently Rosa Diaz is no fan of Citizen Kane, so finds something better. And the joke is, I gotta find a movie that's better than Citizen Kane. um, anyway, and last but not least is Andre Braugher as Captain Ray Holt, who's the 99th 99 Precinct's captain, and who is a gay character. And it took him a long time to become captain, and he had once, as his backstory goes, he had once caught the Disco Strangler from way back when in the late 70s, I imagine. Anyway, this is a very funny show. I mean, I was consistently laughing. I love Andy Samberg's character. I like him in SNL. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really seen any movies with him just yet, so I wasn't really aware of how he, it's one thing to do SNL, but can you play a character, particularly in a television show? And this character suits his talents perfectly. I don't know much about him as an actor, but he sold me on this premiere episode. It's a very funny show. It's a half hour long, and it's created by Dan Gore and Michael Schur, who I don't know too much about, but they're also the executive producers. One of the producers actually is Andy Samberg, and looks like there will be 13 episodes for this first season, so we'll see how it goes. It reminded me a little bit of The Good Guys, which was a show that was canceled, I think now almost a year ago or 2 years ago. That starred Colin Hanks, who was Tom Hanks' son, and Bradley Whitford. Anyway, it was kind of like a takeoff on some of the old 1970s cop television series, but with a bit of a satirical edge and so on and so forth. And I thought that was quite funny. But this show is quite good. It's just funny. I don't know how else to put it. The opening episode, they got to find this killer, and who may have been selling some expensive hams to somebody. So it's really just, it's a gag. The show is basically a gag, but it's not a one joke gag, so that's good. And these are pretty strong characters, especially Andre Braugher, who has a little speech about how long it took for him to finally get where he's at, despite his sexual orientation or gender. So anyway, yes, definitely check out Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I highly recommend it, and I will review more episodes as they continue to be aired. And it looks like this is a show that's doing very well. Got 6.1 million viewers, so that means finally there's a show that I do like, which is, there are a few, but this is one of those shows that is going to last, clearly. So, okay, that's it. That's all there is to say. This is very funny. I really enjoyed it. I like all the gags, the one-liners, and I love Andy Samberg's sarcasm and way of being. It's fun, so we'll see. And we'll look back at more episodes in the future. And this is the Boob Wasteland Show with your host, Jerry Saravia, signing off.